Now, there's no contest who was going to be the first April archive. This is a guy called Henry Malaison. Now, I hope I'm saying that right, because when I first learned about him, he was known as Case Study HM because he was still alive. Now, sadly, he passed away in 2008. But it's interest in him that got me interested in brain injury. So, what happened was that in 1953, at the age of 27, he had brain surgery to help control seizures. And he had a large part of his hippocampus removed on both sides. Now, the seizures reduced, so the surgery was successful on that front. However, he developed what we call anterograde amnesia, which is difficulty in laying down new memories. And he was studied extensively from 1953 to his death. He's one of the most studied patients in history. And what we learned from him was really, really interesting. So he was unable to recognise the staff that he worked with. He couldn't recall conversations from a few minutes earlier. But his IQ remained intact. He was still a really bright guy. But what's interesting is that he could learn new skills. So there's a task that psychologists use, which is called mirror drawing. And that's where you would trace shapes, but you're actually looking in a mirror as you're doing it. So you're having to do things the opposite way, or a mirror image, as it were. And he actually got better at it over a period of 3 days, which suggests that there's been some learning and some skill development, but he couldn't actually consciously remember doing the task before. So he's contributed so much in terms of surgery, because surgery is done very differently now because of the difficulties that Henry lived with and other people who'd had similar surgeries, but also in terms of how we understand memory. So it isn't just a case of information going in and we say information out. We learn skills in loads of different ways, and we have memories in loads of different ways. So this guy, without knowing it, is responsible for a large part of my career.